every month a man consumes 25 kg rice and 9 kg wheat. The price of rice is 20% of the price of wheat monthly. This way, the man spends 350 rupees on rice and wheat monthly, both together. If the price of wheat is increased by 20%, then by what percent the consumption of rice must be reduced to keep the same expenditure of 350? So now in this sum, they have did a variation by giving two commodities, right? So that is rice and wheat, right? Now we are talking about price here. So the price of rice is 20%. Every month a man consumes 25 kg and 9 kg wheat. So this is 9 kg he consumes and he consumes 25 kg. Clear? This is earlier consumption. The price of rice is 20% of the price of wheat monthly. So if the price of wheat is 100, rice price is 20% of 100. Because I have not been given the price, so I will assume it as 100. If the price of wheat is increased by 20%, which means the price becomes 120. The price of the rice still remains the same. Then by what percentage the consumption of rice must be reduced to keep the same expenditure of 350? So here what is happening is, what is my expenditure on rice earlier? It is 25 into 20, which is 500 plus 900. So total is 1400. My total expense earlier was 1400, right? This quantity into this price plus this quantity into this price. Now what is happening is, if the price of wheat is increased by 20%, then by what percent the consumption of rice must be reduced to keep the same expenditure of 350, which means here my price became 120, but I am still keeping my consumption of wheat the same. I have to reduce the consumption of rice. So my consumption of wheat here is 12 into 9, which is 8 into 1, 1080. Now, how much kgs of rice should I consume here so that my expense still remains 1400? So my new expense would be 20x here. So my expense becomes 1400 should be same as 20x plus 1080. If I take it on this side, so this will be 320 is 20x. This will get cancelled. This will be 16. So x is 16. Which means my new consumption of rice should be 16 kgs, right? Earlier it was how much? 25 kgs. Now it has reduced by 16 kgs to keep the expense same in both the cases. So it got reduced by how much? It got reduced by 9. Correct? 16 हो गया, 25 का 16 हो गया, तो 5 and 6, 4, 9. On how much? On 25 into 100. So he should reduce his consumption by 36%. That is the answer. Understood? There was rice and wheat. 9 kg of wheat was consumed. 25 kgs of rice was consumed earlier. The price, if it is 100, it was 20 because price of rice is 20% of wheat. So total consumption was 25 into 2500 plus 9 into 100, 900, 1400. The new consumption, the price increased by 20, which means 100 plus 20, 120. This price remains the same. The consumption of wheat is the same. We have to reduce the consumption of rice, which means I assumed it as x. So now the consumption is 1080 and iska consumption is 20x. Total consumption is 1080 plus 20x total expenditure. But both this expenditure I have to keep same. So when I keep both the expenditure same, my x new consumption of rice comes to be 16. Earlier it was 25. 16 ho gaya, 9 come over 25, which is 36%. Okay. The price of petrol increases from 60 per liter to 75 per liter. So my first price was 60, price 2 was 75. How much consumption of petrol should be reduced so that to increase the expense only by 10%? So I do not know Q1, I do not know Q2. but I know my expense reduced by 10%. So 10% is how much? 1 upon 10, which means if my earlier expense was 10, it reduced by 1. So my new expense is 9. So what I will simply do, I will take a ratio of E1 upon E2, which is P1 Q1 upon P2 Q2, correct? So this is E1 is 10 and this is 9. P1 is 60 into Q1, P2 is 75 into Q2. So I will just cancel 10 से 10 निकल जाएगा यहाँ पे. I can calculate this by 3 से divide किया 2, 3 से divide किया 25. So I can take 25 here. I will take 2 down here, 18. So Q1 upon Q2. So the ratio of earlier consumption and new consumption is 25 upon 12, which means earlier my consumption was 25, now it became 18. So it reduced by 7 over 25 into 100. So my consumption has to reduce by 28%. Clear? Reduction is 7 over earlier is 25 into 100. Percentage increase, percentage decrease. We have learnt in our concept video how to calculate. Next. So dear students, please connect with me on my WhatsApp channel. If you have any doubts, I'll be happy to solve them, or keep me motivated by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much.